How we doing today, man? It is a Monday morning, no news Monday, in fact, and we started the day expecting no trades. I was tweeting and making TikToks about how there was nothing going on that I wanted to see or take trades off of. So what happened right away? Let's just go over that. First of all, well, we had a very clear bullish bias, right? New week opening gap all the way down here, only delivering up Monday. Why was this expected? Well, because we swept out the most obvious draws on liquidity on the higher time frame right here, which is a daily, which is a, we didn't get down there. I really thought that we were in the weekly gap. So I think we're going to continue to push lower. I think this is just immediate rebalance to equilibrium after such an aggressive move lower, which lines up perfectly with the new day gap. That's pretty insane, actually. But we're having a little bit of a breath up, right? Because we swept out all of this liquidity right here. So I was expecting us to get bullish momentum if we continued it, right? Or if we started it. So overnight, I'm sleeping this time. I'm not looking at the charts. I wake up around here. I see this. I'm long for the day. I'm already a perma bull. We're holding a 1 hour gap. I'm already looking for longs no matter what. So I wanted to see this high right here. This is a very clear and obvious swing high to get to, which is a 4 hour gap as well. And then my last target for the day would have been all the way up here. If we could have gotten a crazy momentum there, we didn't. So what did I do? I saw market open. Market open was right here. There's no trades for me pre-market or market open. And we don't displace lower at all, and we go straight up. There's nothing for me to do. And these are the frustrating days because I stream on my Discord on Mondays, and then I also make videos every single day, and I'm not going to stop. I was talking about today about, do I just only post videos maybe once a week or whenever I take a trade? But then I was like, you know what? There's no point in that because this is about documenting trading, and trading sometimes is boring. So every video doesn't have to be a banger. I don't have to wait for a great trade just to post a video or a loss or a payout. I can post every single day because this is the process. This is the journey of trading. So I'm going to always post every day. Maybe on the days I don't trade, I talk about something different. But we run the first draw on liquidity right away. Small pullback, literally to nothing. Boom, rip higher. Small pullback again, rip higher. Boom, pullback again, flip. Ooh, wait, what's happening here? Right, this is the first sign that I was maybe going to want to see something. When we failed to take out this swing high and we put in high, and drop down, fail to swing high again. Drop down, fail again. This is when I get curious in the market. I don't know how to explain why this is such an important signature to me. Obviously, if you guys trade, and if you trade IFVGs, you definitely know this signature and price. But it's really something that you just build up by watching the charts all the time. So I immediately start anticipating a move higher because of this, because we are so bullish. So I can't long anywhere here, but I need to see structure get built. I need to see generated liquidity. So we end up putting an SMT with this low right here. And my first trade I actually ended up taking was a fat loss. Let me pull that up. That was an hour. Wow, that was Friday's trade. It was an hour. Get that video gone. And then this trade here today. That's my video from last week. Dude, I need to sort these better. Okay, this should be it. Yep, 13 minutes. So this was our first loss. Right here. We got in long. 2 micros. I need to turn on my AC down here. Turn that on. Cannot wait to go surfing after I get this video done. The waves were kind of firing this morning, and I was like, man, this is so boring. I'm about to go surfing. But then I was like, but I'm still going to wait. And then we got set up. We took this trade, and this was a pretty depressing loss. I ended up moving my stop loss from this candle here to the low. I could have mitigated some of the loss. I would have lost like $30 less, which doesn't really matter. But I really didn't need to move it from this low. Why? Because if it hits that low, we're probably going to get stopped out, especially with the speed. This is a really bad sign right here, leaving this high. This is a really bad sign, leaving that gap, because that just looks like more liquidity built up and then immediate push down. This is always going to be an L. I should not move my stop lower. And then, boom, we get stopped out immediately. So one thing I want to point out about why this trade lost and why I could have avoided it and what I'm kind of frustrated with about that. Well, this trade immediately, when we traded, we had already, so we had the SMT with this low, So that's really all we had, but we didn't tap into anything. 5 minute, right? There's really just this fair value gap that we were disrespected. There's nothing there. 15 minute, we had a 15-minute gap, so that was one confluence, which is fine. But then we had this 3-minute gap hold very strong and flip lower. So now we have all of this generated buy-side liquidity still ready to get ran at some point, right? All of this liquidity. And I even believe that's one as well. Yeah. So we had all of this liquidity get built up, and I still was interested in this trade. So what happens? I was saying beforehand that I want to see this be the target, the area that we swept, the liquidity. Why? Why do I want this to be the liquidity sweep? Well, we have a fair value gap right here. And I know you're going to say, wow, that's such a dumb fair value gap. Why do you care about that one? Well, because in theory, right, we had this move up. I don't even want to see us come back down, right? I don't want to see us come back to equilibrium. So some of you guys would say, hey, why didn't you want to see us come back down to the midpoint and the 50%, a little retracement, and then go higher? I don't want to see that because for me, if we're this bullish, we should stall for a second because the market can't keep this pace up. Generate liquidity, right? This is what we're doing, generating liquidity by leaving highs. By leaving these highs, we're generating liquidity, right? So we are doing what we need to do to go higher, but we don't need to drop all the way back down lower because if we start spending too much time down here, I'm not really that convinced that we're still bullish. So I'm more concerned with this low right here. Because we did tag the equilibrium point, but I want to see a sweep below the midpoint, sweep liquidity below the 50%. So we didn't sweep any liquidity underneath the 50% of this range here. And again, that's kind of cherry picked, but anyways, that's why I expected that one to be a lot more high probability for a reversal rather than where I did. So the trade I took, really looking back, wasn't that great. I still don't regret it. It was like an IFEG, but I could have used my previous experience, which I always talk about, previous experience, to then take a trade underneath this low. So we get a sweep on liquidity. We have a very strong SMT right here. This was the SMT. And as you can see, we kind of push up. Nothing happens. We drop down one more time right here. Purge this low one more time. Is that an SMT? We don't have an SMT. But then I drop onto the 30-second chart. And I see this fair value gap. So I took this 30-second IFVG. I went long right here on this candle. I went long. Stop loss at the low of the candle. 31 points, targeting the high. So this was the trade. That was a 30-second confluence, and we really did not respect it much. But that was the trade. And now I'll kind of walk you guys through what I was thinking and feeling during the trade. This trade was over an hour, which is pretty hectic. But yeah, so here it is. This was the trade. We waited. We got in. Entry, we'll see the entry here. Let's see if we hesitate at all. But why was it not luck that I didn't lose this trade? Because it gets very close to my stop loss. So I'll kind of just speed through this video and kind of tell you guys what I was thinking and feeling. I got in the trade. At this point, right here, I'm thinking this doesn't look good. I wanted to see us react off here and go quick, but hey, we're still holding the 30-second gap. Doesn't look horrible, but I'm not super stoked, right? I'm not super stoked with this. I really would rather see us really displace off this SMT, this change of state delivery, this 30-second inversion. I want to see us run higher, but we were just generating more liquidity at this point. We were also failing to make a new high. 1 swing high, 2, 3, 4, 5 swing highs, 6 swing highs, now a 7th swing high. All just stalling. So this taking place, what was I thinking here? I literally was like, okay, it's going to take a miracle at this point right here. It's going to take it's so quick. Right here. When this candle was down here, I was like, man, we lost again. I was going to be done for the day, step away, come back the next day, Cool, not the end of the world. But then we get that reaction. I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. And then we dump again. And then we pump. And then I'm like, okay, this is chopping, but if we can just break this high, we'll be good to go. Let's just make a new high. That's what I was thinking at this point. Then we're dumping, and I literally said again, I was like, it will be an actual miracle not to get stopped out at this point. I'm expecting to lose. 100% expecting to lose. So, like at this point, I lost all faith in the trade. But there's some important things to learn from on this trade. Even though I thought I was going to get stopped out for sure, right? For sure, right here. Why would I close the trade? I in my mind right now, $54, I could close the trade. 54 on this trade, $50, $60 now. I could maybe close the trade, call it a day. Don't worry about it. Why take a full stop loss? But you leave your stop loss in place for a reason. So we come back down one more time, and we sweep these lows. And right here, it looks like guaranteed I'm going to lose. Guaranteed right here. 4 points, 3.5. 3.5 points away from getting stopped out and losing $300 on the day. We were down 170, about to lose 130, $300. So from here to take profit was a $300 swing. Because I could have closed the trade here. Well, we're definitely going to get stopped out. Let me just not lose an extra $20, right? Because we're going to definitely get stopped out, right? Right? Aren't we going to? We're going to get stopped out, right? That's what your mind tells you. You're going to lose. There's no way. This fair value gap's not going to hold. This low's not protected. The SMT doesn't matter. This trade looks bad. We're going to reverse the whole move for the whole day. All negative self-talk, all negative thoughts. All I could think about in this trade during the drawdown was negative things like, oh, how am I going to lose? Why are we always looking for ways that we're going to lose? Because not always going to be a loss. And that's why you don't cut your stop loss early. That's why you don't move stop loss early, right? So I'm really happy with the management. So I see this, and I was saying this whole time, I was like, man, I don't want to I'd rather get stopped out right now than let it get back up to even, just to come back down, go back up, then stop me out. Like, I don't want to sit in this trade for an hour just to lose. And I never normally win trades that last this long. Normally, I lose immediately. So at this point, I'm like, okay, cool. Some displacement. We're finally running some swing highs, but we need we need to run these swing highs. This are the important ones. But this looks good. So at this point, I'm like, cool, right? This is good. We broke a swing high. We made a new high. I need to see us continue now. This looks good still if we continued higher. But we end up dropping down. And at this point, I literally almost closed the trade. Because in my mind, there's no way we don't go higher after this move. We're going to lose. So I was like, maybe I just take a $30 or $50 loss. That is still huge. Huge profits given up for no reason. So when we were down here, then when we were kind of pushing, I'm like, okay. And then we got it closed right here, right where my entry was. I could have actually added another contract. That would have added another 130, that's 60, 120. It would add another $65 of risk. We've been in for risking about $200. I don't need to do that though because it made the loss pretty fat on the day if we did lose. But this was the spot I did want to add the trade. But again, notice we run these equal highs and then we soup it and we close back in. So I'm like, okay, should I just close this trade for a small loss? Again, I'm repeating myself, but this is my entire thought process through this trade was, hey, maybe I just close it here. I don't like this. We've already been chopping. It's late in the day, blah, 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 all negative stuff. So then we drop lower again. We make equal highs again. And I'm like, whoa, this thing is just not quitting. And we're displacing quick. And I'm like, this just doesn't look like it's going to work at all. And then we drop all the way back down, negative $80. 13 points away from stop loss after all this time, just to lose potentially. And I'm like, should I just close the trade here? But then it's like, why would I have let all this happen just to close here? We swept this low. We put in an S&T with this low, I believe. And then we got the actual move. So at this point, I'm like, okay, this is just not good. But then when this candle closed, it felt different. It felt different this time because we had these equal highs. We run those highs, and now I trail my stop loss to these lows because we ran the equal highs inside the fair value gap. Notice I don't go break even too early. It would never have mattered, but I don't go break even too early. I wait and I wait, and boom, we close above this fair value gap. I go break even. We can't lose on the second trade. We're in a free trade, and we let the trade play out. And we let it play out. And even right here, actually, I missed a part. Right here, I was asking myself, do I just close this trade? After sitting it for so long, do I just take some profits? And if I close the trade here, we would miss out on about $100 today. And that's big. So then the trade keeps playing. And I'm like, okay, cool. Let's see this thing play out, man. Once we run these highs, I expect it and need it to be quick. I need it to be quick above these highs. So I haven't let go yet. I leave my stop loss at the midpoint of the IFEG, just so we make sure, just in case it flash crash, right? If the market just randomly sold off for whatever reason, I would profit from this NQ trade. And ES was already above these highs, I believe. So the S&P 500 was above the highs, and NASDAQ wasn't. So I was a little bit concerned. And then we leave our take profit, and we get filled, and we make $5 on the day, and we break even on the day, we lock account, and that's the trade, man. We don't leave runners because we were down on the trade on the day, and we sat in it for so long, and I wanted to be done with it. But that's the trade. I'm really, really happy with this trade. Really, really happy with the management of it, not freaking out. Literally all of it. Literally all of it was great. This would have been a nice entry if you wanted to trade a 1-to-1. You would have got in and you would have got in around here, stop loss at this low. And this would have been a really nice trade because you spend all the time down there. You don't have to deal with all this. A lot of good opportunities today in the market. A lot of good opportunities in the market. Or, wow, I don't know why I'm saying that. There was not a lot of good opportunities, but a lot of opportunities to learn today. I learned how to hold through a trade longer. I learned how to just be happy if I lost again. I was able to deal with a lot of different emotions and practice a lot of different things. And I'm happy with how I spot the market. I think a lot of the issues I have aren't charting related. I don't think it's technical analysis related. I think a lot of it is just decisions. I walked you guys through the whole trade for a reason, because it comes down to decision making at the end of the day. Do I close the trade when we're almost going to get stopped out? No. But then do I almost close it when we come back down here? Right? These are different decisions that we can make. Here, do I close it for less of a loss? Oh my gosh, we failed to take out this high. We're dumping. I need to just close it, right? Oh, we got up here. I'm just going to go break even now because we should go. Stopped at break even if you did that. Oh, it's dropping again. I'm getting greedy. Let me close the trade. Boom, we run up. Oh, I'm going to go break even. I'm going to close the trade. Oh, we're right here. Let me close it for small profit because I don't want this chop again and fail to get these highs. Boom, we come up right above here. Well, I'm just going to take profit here instead of... You see what I'm saying? There's always a decision to be made in the market, and that is what affects your week, right? If we closed the trade here, we would have been down 300-ish, almost 300 on the day. And now we're not. That's a $300 swing. That's a big swing. That's a big difference for your account, for your trade, for like anything. That's a big difference, and that is the difference between profitability and not. So really unfortunate that I literally have not been able to win a trade since we've been at like above break even. I've not been able to win my first trade of the day. I've been losing every single time. But we learned from this loss. We could have avoided this because we should have waited for this swing low to be purged, right? We could have expected this to be generated buy side liquidity. And then we sat through the chop. So really, really super, super happy with the day. That's all I have to really talk about. And yeah, the account where I forgot to say I took a trade on this other Express account the other day on Monday, $15. So this account's at an all-time high. And we just trade it once a month to keep it active. And we'll trade it eventually at some point. So we have $115 sitting in this one chilling, and we're about $72 in this one chilling. So we have a chance to get our first payout within this next month. That will be huge for this channel and for me. I can't wait. I'm super excited. And then after that, I'm going to get some evals, I think, on Alpha Futures. I think I'm going to get the zero plan, I believe. And maybe some with... I might get Apex eventually. I'm going to get max allocation with Top Step and Alpha Futures first. But if you want to use code Diego on Alpha Futures and Apex, I'm not currently sure if they're doing any discounts or sales. But if they are doing a discount or sale, my code will get you that discount or sale. So use my code. It helps me out, and I really do appreciate everyone that does use it. I really, really do appreciate it. And I appreciate everyone that constantly watches this channel and supports me and wants to see me do well, because we're slowly getting better, man. We are slowly getting better. And we just got to keep showing up, keep improving, and good things will happen. So I appreciate all you guys. Tell somebody you love them today, and get outside and have some fun. It is still summer, man. Enjoy your time while you can, man, because you never know. Every day is not promised. So just wanted to leave you guys with a positive message at the end of the video. But yeah, man, that's all I got. Peace out. Hopefully you guys had a good day. Let me know how you guys did today, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.